Hey, what is up guys, Galaxy Tech Novel here, back again for the first time in a while with a new deck profile on this channel. So this was the concept I came up with, well, I didn't come up with this, I was looking at some OCG deck lists post Maximum Crisis release. I played this deck at locals during the first week after Maximum Crisis was released. It's a true Draco Kozmo Metalfoes build, so I saw this topping in the OCG for a short amount of time. Every now and it kept on popping up on YG Organization on the deck lists, and I thought it was actually incredibly cool, and I liked it, and I liked the way the deck played, so I decided to put together a build and test it at locals, and I actually got second place with it, losing only to Zoodiac, a 60 card Zoodiac Predaplan something build. But yeah, it was very fun to run. I'll put my matchups in the description if I can remember them, because it was quite a few weeks ago now. I had some university stuff to get out of the way. So starting off with 3 copies of Masterpiece, because this is your main focus. You want to search this with Diagram and tribute your Metalfoes combinations with it. And get search off the Metalfoes combinations, and then this will be unaffected by traps and whatever else you tributed. So yeah. Then 3 copies of Metalfoes Volflame. I've been meaning to get a second and third super. I don't have one yet, but I will at some point. Playing 3 copies of Metalfoes Gold Driver, 2 copies of Silvered, 1 copy of Steelen, and 1 copy of Bismagir. Then getting onto the Kozmo stuff, this is a proxy by the way for Dark Eclipser. I was borrowing one off of a friend, I don't actually have one, nor did I really want to go through the trouble of getting one, so I just borrowed one off of a friend, but it was very helpful in some ways. 1 Dark Destroyer, this was very good. You can search this off of Kozmo Town because you can pop it very easily with either your Slip Riders or your Masterpiece by popping the opponent's Kozmo Town on the opponent's field, which I'll get to later. 1 copy of Forerunner, 1 copy of Landwalker, 3 copies of Slip Rider, 1 copy of Dark Lady, Farm Girl, 2 Strawman, and 1 Tin Can. So the Kozmo ratio is heavily ship based because you pop them with Diagram and you get this. You get a search for Masterpiece or a True Draco spell. Then you tag out into generally Strawman, get it back, get the monster back, do some other plays, and all of that. Then lastly for the monsters, I was playing 3 copies of Balbaboon because just to unbrick your hands, and because you can pop this off of a Diagram and a Metalfoes scale and make a rank 3 with it. And 1 copy of Maxi. Then for the spells, 3 copies of Diagram. Very, very important card in the deck, as are the 3 copies of Kozmo Town that we're running. So the biggest gimmick in this deck, I feel, is how you run these, which is with 3 copies of Set Rotation. So what this card does is you grab 2 field spells from your deck and set 1 to your side of the field and set 1 on the opponent's field. So you can already piece together how this is going to go. So you set your Diagram and you set Kozmo Town in the opponent's field. You use the Diagram to pop a Kozmo ship in your hand, search a Masterpiece or True Draco Heritage, and then tag out what you popped into a Slip Rider if possible, and pop the Kozmo Town, get a search for something. Also playing 3 copies of Terraforming, so technically we're playing 6 copies of Terraforming and to go with our 6 field spells, which means we can very, very consistently get our field spells out. Then I was playing 2 copies of True Draco Heritage because this is back row destruction. It also aids you in popping Kozmo Town, and you can search it with Diagram. Playing 1 copy of Painful Decision and 1 Summoner's Art. I was then running 1 copy of Full Metalfoes Fusion and 1 Metalfoes Fusion. These are not mainly what you want to set. You mainly want to set your combinations, and you barely go into your fusions, but you do every so often, so these are very useful to keep in mind for the deck. These are still very much needed. And lastly for the traps, we are only actually running 3 traps in the form of 3 copies of Metalfoes combination. One of the combos is to use Diagram, pop the Kozmo ship in your hand, tag out, but the other combo is to, when you have Masterpiece, set this, have a monster on board, and or just set 2 of these with your Metalfoes scales, attribute them to Summon Masterpiece, get searches for other scales. You can then do mass pendulum summoning and all of that. Then for the extra deck, it's not really something we go into very much. Generally, if we have Balbaboon, a rank 3, and if we have enough Metalfoes, generally Mithrilium, which we're running 2 of as the minimum number. 1 Alcahest, 1 copy of Orichalc, and 1 Adamant. The main focus of this extra deck is on the XCs, so we're running 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity and 1 Cyber Dragon Nova to go with the Slip Riders that we run. It is very possible to make this. When I ran this deck, I did make it quite relatively consistently. Then 1 copy of Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger and 1 Volcasaurus, which is what you can go into with Adamant if you so wish. And then you can, once you've done Volcasaurus, you can go into Gaia Charger and poke for damage. I'm also running 1 Utopia the Lightning and 1 Utopia, and 1 Cairn Gorgon for the generic rank 4s. Then rank 3s, running 1 copy of Super Quantal Met Beast Grandpos, because back row destruction. And it's also got a very big defense, so it's very good to go into. Then 1 Break Sword, just because another generic rank 3 we can run that's very good for popping cards. You can use this to pop your combination, pop 1 of their cards, maybe their Kozmo Town, get a double plus off of it. And 1 Levier to round that off. I didn't actually make this card, but it is generally there to summon back a pilot, a banished Kozmo pilot, and use it to tag out again. But yeah. So yeah guys, that just about brings me to the end of the deck profile. If you enjoy the video, of course, don't forget to leave a like to show your appreciation and leave a comment to suggest improvements for the next build. And also don't forget to subscribe because your support is greatly appreciated for the channel. And I shall catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.